Hello there, my name's Caramia Muffet and I'm a freelance trainer for Mind in Salford, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 ways to well-being, how they can help you with your mental health and the types of things that we can do to improve our mental health.
We are experiencing a different way of life currently, and it is times like these that can make our mental health have a little wobble. In 2010, the Centre for Wellbeing at New Economics Foundation developed a set of evidence-based actions proved to improve personal well-being. These were called the 5 ways to well-being, or I suppose we could also call it our checklist to maintaining a healthy mind. The first way to well-being is to keep learning. Our opinion of ourselves matters. All too often we can find ourselves having a low opinion of ourselves, or we are down on ourselves, and this is known as having low self-esteem. This can make us feel generally miserable. If we frequently experience low self-esteem, this will impact on our mental health. With low self-esteem, we are probably thinking negatively about ourselves, and this can also lead to us overall generally having negative thought patterns. The more we learn to think negatively, the more of a habit this will become, and so we need to do things that will break that habit. People with low self-esteem may believe they are not good at things, and a good way to improve our self-esteem is to learn something new. If we challenge ourselves to learn something new, when we achieve our challenge, it can have a positive effect on our self-esteem, or in other words, makes us feel good about ourselves. Doing something challenging and new can prove to ourselves that we have the ability to learn new skills. Whilst learning a new skill can be in the form of classroom training, it doesn't have to be. It can be anything from cooking something new to walking a distance that you believe will be a challenge, or even something like reading a book or learning a new hobby. Don't set the goal too high, because we don't want to set ourselves up for a fail. This would probably have a negative effect on our mental health. The second well-being is to be active. There is so much research to support the health benefits of being active. Not only is exercise good for physical health, it is also good for mental health. It is said that people who regularly exercise are 40% less likely to be diagnosed with depression. Exercise can take your mind away from the day-to-day stresses that we face. If you are able to take a look at our anxiety video, you will see what happens to the body when the fight or flight response occurs. One of the changes that the body makes when it perceives danger is to produce glucose, which is prioritized to your muscle groups ready to be used. The fight or flight response can occur when our body experiences stress, which can be brought about by numerous reasons. A few examples may be problematic relationships, financial worries, or a heavy workload. Exercising regularly can use the glucose that the body is producing when the fight or flight response is triggered, which in turn will then reduce stress in your muscles, relieve tension, or can even relieve headaches. We know from our last topic of learning a new skill that a high self-esteem is important, and regular exercise can help you ensure to take care of yourself, which is another way of improving your self-esteem. To get the benefits from exercise, it is recommended that 30 minutes exercise is done 5 times a week. And for those of you who feel exercise is a dirty word, you'll also be pleased to know it doesn't mean you have to run a marathon every week. When we talk about exercise, we are meaning moderate exercise. For most people, this usually means you will be breathing heavier than normal, but certainly not out of breath, and your body will feel warmer than normal, but not to the point of overheating. And of course, we all know that exercise releases hormones in the body, which makes us feel good too. The third way to well-being is to connect. Connecting with people is a great way to help with our mental health. We were born as social creatures, so having people to converse with is imperative. Most people who are mentally suffering do not need medication, they need somebody to talk to and a supportive environment. Connecting with people gives us a sense of belonging, of acceptance, of purpose, and can improve your quality of life dramatically. Finding the right friendship can bring about conversations that will make you laugh, and we also know that laughing is also good for our mental health. It gives you somewhere to turn to when you need to download a heavy day. Furthermore, being there for somebody who contacts you to download can also give you a sense of having been able to help, and once again can boost that self-esteem. If you don't feel that you have many people you can connect with, then why not think about joining a new social group? Perhaps look at what your hobbies and interests are and look for a social group around these hobbies that you could join. Or even just picking up the phone and contacting family and friends that you haven't spoken to for some time. The fourth way to well-being is to give. Research shows that when we give to others, this can have a positive impact on our own mental health, and that often makes us happier. Giving to others can reduce stress, believe it or not, too. Now, when we're talking about giving to others, we're not talking purchasing grand gifts. It's the simple act of kindness that we offer to other people that makes us feel good about ourselves. If you don't believe me, just pause this video for a moment and think about a time when you did something kind for somebody. Perhaps you picked something up for them when they dropped it, or helped somebody with carrying shopping, or helped somebody across the road. Or it could be something bigger than this, but I bet your act of kindness made you smile inside. Volunteering can also have the same impact on our mental health as giving a kind gesture to somebody. When we volunteer to do something for either a person or an organisation, we know we are helping. We know we are making a difference. We know that that help is appreciated, which in turn allows us to feel good. And believe it or not, volunteering also ticks the box for connecting, because when we volunteer, we almost always have to connect with other people too. And last but certainly not least, the fifth way to well-being is all about taking notice. To take notice of the present moment is also known as mindfulness. Mindfulness is really about learning to stop your mind from constantly harassing you, and it provides our mind with a much needed break. Mindfulness can provide us with the techniques to listen to our mind and to begin to hear if our thoughts start to become negative. It then teaches us how to learn to let them negative thoughts go. Mindfulness, or the practice of any meditation, can help train your brain to engage in thoughts that feel good and to disengage with those that don't feel so good. Mindfulness isn't always easy though, but the more you practice it, the more mindful you'll become. Part of the process of mindfulness is allowing whatever is here to be present and to not be adverse to these feelings, even when they are not always pleasant feelings, but instead to be curious about them. It is also about understanding that whatever we are feeling will not last forever. Our feelings are temporary. We now know that our brains have what is known as neuroplasticity, which basically means it can change its structure and create new neural pathways. The research into mindfulness has now clearly shown that with regular practice, the neural pathways in the brain can and will change, and this can reduce stress and also help with the controlling of anxiety, meaning that this can only be a good thing for our mental health.
So there we have our 5 ways to well-being. Just to recap, keep learning, exercise, connect, give, and take notice. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did like it, give us a thumbs up. And also, if you're enjoying watching our videos, why don't you subscribe to our channel? I think you'll find the button somewhere down there. Thanks again and speak to you all soon.